listening to the Pharmacy Podcast Network.
Hi, friends and co-resis. Are you looking for some honest and straight to the point advice on how to secure a residency position? Perhaps you're looking to make a comeback after taking some time off following graduation, and you want to know how to be ready for the pharmacy Hunger Games. Or maybe you are looking for encouraging stories of resilience, endurance, and perseverance through an ever-changing pharmacy professional landscape. If you answered yes to any of the following, look no further. You have come to the right place. Welcome to the ResiPrep 360 podcast. I am your host, Sally Traore Uwalaka. This is your premier podcast for all things residency. On this podcast, we talk about pragmatic ways to secure a position. We get straight to the point with no fluff. We talk to you about useful information that then turn into actionable items for you on your journey to securing a position of your dreams. So with that, let's get right into today's episode. Thank you so much for being here. And please do like and let all of your friends know about the podcast. Thank you. Hello, good evening, friends and co-resis. My name is Sally. I am the founder of ResiPrep 360, your premier residency match strategy one-stop shop. I am so excited to be here introducing the first episode of my brand new podcast, which has been a long time in the making. And I'm so thrilled to be partnering with Pharmacy Podcast Network and helping bring this idea to fruition. Ask and you shall receive. Thank you to all of you for encouraging me to get to this point. And I'm so excited for what this means for the future of many, many, many prospective candidates that I hope to inspire to pursue residency training. As I said, I'm Sally. I will be the host of this podcast for you for the foreseeable future. I am so thrilled to be doing this. My journey and why I was interested in doing this is really simple. It began as a passion project that was really out of my desperation for what my experiences were when I was going through residency application process to really make sure that that didn't happen to other prospective candidates, particularly those of color. I am an English as a second language speaker, Black woman, graduate of an HBCU, very proud of this fact. And I was looking for voices that could really understand all of the many, many, many things that I am and how I needed to build that story in order to, or even have confidence in sharing that story on my journey to really hoping and working really, really hard to secure the residency program of my dream. And so I couldn't find one. I could not find one. I searched. I did look. I couldn't find one. This was really one surprising to me, but also it was an eye-opening experience for me. Once I realized that I was really going to be at this alone, I started kind of figuring out everything I could learn about this process. So there is no shortage of information out there about what a residency is, what its goals are, what we hope is accomplished by the end of a residency. What was missing was how do we personalize this journey, because no two prospective candidates are cut from the same cloth, one, and two, no two prospective candidates are interested in a residency for the same reason. Ultimately, we are all hoping to become a better version of ourselves so that our patients can benefit from this. But the story that drives us towards the desire of securing a residency, that's not identical. And what that means is for each prospective candidate, the journey will not be identical. So the idea that we can create a blueprint, so to speak, that every single candidate is going to follow, I quickly realized that I needed to break from the pack. I needed to break away from the crowd because I am unique. My story is unique. I've overcome so much, and I wanted those things that I've overcome to be learned about me. I wanted people to know that I wasn't lazy and that everything that they were seeing on my CV was absolutely earned. And there were stories that were embedded in each of these accomplishments that I was eager to share because it was important to me, very important to me, that where I ended up, that they saw me and that they got me and that they would not be intimidated by the learning experience I was looking for and what I was really hoping the residency program would deliver. After realizing that this was going to be a challenge, I had to adjust my plan and learn how to tell my story myself and learn how to develop the candidate that I wanted to be seen as. Luckily, I matched and luckily it worked out for me, but I never really forgot that feeling of the journey and how how purely isolated I felt throughout that entire journey, even after matching for residency. It was an incredibly lonely and very isolating experience for me. I didn't want that. I don't want that for no one else. And Resi Prep was born with the desire to make sure that this history and this thing that has happened to me didn't happen to someone else, right? That no other ambitious person out there, regardless of their gender, regardless of their color, but that no other person out there who wanted to be seen, heard, understood, and wanted to make it clear about what their goals were and what they were looking for a residency program to deliver for them, that they didn't do that incorrectly and it result in them not matching. So Resi Prep was born to help you figure out how do you personalize this residency journey so that every step you take towards match day is carefully calculated, is carefully strategized, and you can move towards match day much more secure with a lot more guarantees about what the outcome of that day is going to be like. This has been my passion pet project for so long. I honestly don't even know where it ends and I begin anymore. I'm incredibly proud of all of the things that I've been able to accomplish in the last 7 years now. In 2020, I had my first 100% match rate, which is something I'm very proud of. But over the last 6 years, I've had a consistent match rate of over 96% in all of the student pharmacists that I have worked with and helped navigate through this process. So I have confidence in a few things. One, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. And I know what I'm doing to a very high degree of precision that almost makes it error proof, right? And number two, I'm not a quitter. What that means for you as a listener and you as a person who would reach out for assistance or help is that I will do whatever it takes in my power to help you effectuate your potential, to help you realize and really maximize your greatest potential. And I don't do that by pushing you to the brink of madness. I just do that by learning who you are. So this podcast is for you. This podcast is created so that you can help me reach those students that are pursuing this dream with very limited resources, that are pursuing this dream because they've realized it a little too late and are a little panicked that they may not be prepared and ready to compete at the same level as those who've been preparing for this literally for years. I'm here to help you navigate all those waters. That's my first mission. My second mission with this podcast is really to bring you voices that are going to empower you. These are going to be voices of folks that have learned from their own personal experiences and their journeys. Some of the conversations are going to be uncomfortable and difficult. I want them to be. I want to hear those stories and I want to share those stories so that if something horrific has happened to somebody anywhere, no other person should be allowed to go through that same thing or if they choose to go to such a program, they're better informed and a little bit more prepared than whoever the person before you was. We are going to talk about some difficult conversations that are going to focus on accountability from ASHP, accountability from residency directors, residency programs. What is the role of the director of pharmacy and kind of overseeing the residency program and making sure that the residents are protected and looked after, because these are fragile and developmental stages of their careers, and we don't want them to move forward from a residency program with PTSD. I swear, that's what it is. So that's my second goal with this podcast, to bring you voices of stories from the journey so that you may be better prepared to embark on your journey on your way to success. Lastly, I will bring you some very, very powerful voices of empowered individuals, people that are going to teach us how to become resilient, how to build resilience, how to avoid burnout, how to deal with it once we recognize that we are there. People that are going to teach us the power of meditation, folks that are going to talk to us about how do we make sure that we are fighting the good fight for ourselves first, right? Being seen, heard, and included at work. And so all this is to tell you that this isn't going to be your typical podcast where I am just going to dump on you. This is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you do. But I genuinely hope that the mixture of content and the mixture of guests that we will have are going to be folks that are going to contribute tremendously to not just your personal, but your spiritual and emotional and professional growth as we continue to move pharmacy in a direction that is pro everybody, not just pro some, but pro everybody, regardless of what those people's backgrounds and preferences and color of their skin and accents and religious beliefs, political beliefs, regardless of who those people are. If we are congregating and showing up every day and saying that the goal is to move healthcare forward and the goal is to advance quality and equitable healthcare, none of those things should matter. And that's why I'm here. So I'm so thrilled for us to be launching. I'm so thrilled to finally be here talking to you and introducing this podcast and giving you a little sneak peek of what we're going to be, what you have to look forward to. But like now, subscribe now, share with your friends, share with anybody, share with your students that you think could benefit from some of the information that we are sharing here. Share with someone you think would be an excellent guest on our podcast to help enlighten all of us so that we could benefit and move forward better people. I'm so excited to begin this journey, and it will not be a success without you. So welcome to the Resi Prep 360 podcast, and what I am guaranteeing and promising will be a transformative experience for all of us. I look forward to all of it, and I am most thrilled to be doing it with you. Thank you.